Hey yo, what's up guys, it's your boy back again with a new video. I hope you guys are doing really well. Really appreciate all the love and the support that you guys have been giving me the last like couple of weeks and that. 80 subscribers, massive achievement, let's go. Get into the weekend of footy, let's get it. First game of the weekend, we had the Seagulls versus the Knights. We had the Seagulls winning 30-6. Overall, the first half was really shaky to start with, and then the Seagulls started to kick into gear, literally. DC was doing really well with his kicking game in this game. Again, that's 2 weeks in a row he's been playing pretty well. But you know, with the Knights, a couple of injuries that really shunned you guys from getting any sort of momentum in this game, and you know, the Seagulls were just a bit too classy. So top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had DCE with 69, Ola Kawatu with 67, Lachlan Croker with 48. Next game of the weekend, we had the Warriors beating the Cowboys 25-24, and this game was like crazy back and forth game. It came all the way down to a Sean Johnson field goal that brought us back into this one and win the game, basically. I'm really proud of how the boys showed effort for the full, past 80 minutes in this one to get into extra time and win the game. We had really no business being in that game, judging by the stats. You know, we were down on run meters, we were down on like a whole lot of other stats and that, but our scrambling defense was always there. You could see the effort, especially from Montoya in this game. That's 2 weeks in a row he's had his best games of the weekend. And with the Cowboys, the positives you should take out of this game, you definitely had this game in the bag at multiple points. Your forward pack was running all over the top of our forward pack. If you kept to that position, didn't give away silly penalties and errors, you guys could have definitely just did us away with us. But you know, I'm just proud of my boys, how we stood up in this one and, you know, get the W. Top 3 fantasy performers in this one is Ewan Aiken with 80 points, Josh Curran with 70 points, Scotty Drinkwater, he's back again with 62 points. And I like Scotty Drinkwater fullback there, so it's good for the Cowboys. Next game on that Friday night, we had the Broncos versus the Roosters, and the Broncos slightly losing in this one. The Roosters winning in this one 24-20. My thoughts on this one was, fuck, man, who would have thought that this game was going to be close? If you really thought about it, the Broncos haven't been travelling too well. The Roosters have been starting to find their mojo, but the Broncos teams, they always give it to these new Roosters squads at the moment, and I think it's all been through all history. Like, you've always see the Broncos take it to the Roosters. Just a few big class stand-ups from, obviously, like someone like Joey Manu, Sam Walker. All the big boys stood up, except for really Tedesco kept quiet in this one, but, you know, still looking damaging as ever, so. For the Broncos, pretty unlucky, but, you know, you guys will be better for this. I think that was a really positive performance. Your defense was really good. Had a couple of lapses that brought the Roosters back into it, but you had a chance to win the game at the end of it and nearly got it. So we'll have to see how we go through next week. Top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had Katoni Staggs was 79, Payne Haas was 71, and Joey Manu was 65. So the first game on Saturday, we had the Storm versus the Raiders, and we had the Storm winning 30-16. So in this one, the Storm were just way too classy. The Raiders are starting to be that team that, you know, when they turn up, they're going to be really hard to beat, but when they don't turn up, you know, it's kind of just, they roll through them. And I think this game, there was a couple of, nice showings from the Raiders, but it was so up and down. They've been really inconsistent at the moment. And with the Storm, you know, just the classy players always stand up for them at the moment, and they really find their momentum, so they're going to be a hard team to beat. Top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had Cam Munster was 73, Harry Grant was 68, and Jerome Hughes was 61. Next game of the weekend, we had the Rabbitohs beating the Dragons 24-12. Very scrappy game from these two. Didn't really see too much. There was obviously positives there. Ilias definitely stood up in this game. I think he's been playing really well the last couple of weeks. If you've kept Ilias in your team of fantasy, I unfortunately couldn't because I wanted to switch around a couple of players to bring back Cleary and that. But if you've kept Ilias in your team, it probably would have been a really good low cost buy to start the season. I don't think he's still not up to where he could be playing, but he is definitely warming into that. Other players that play well, like Cam Murray's played amazing the last couple of weeks, and Damien Cook probably had maybe his best game or second best game this year. He's been really on fire at the moment, so it's good to see. Top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had Damien Cook was 69, Cam Murray was 63, and Jaden Sewer was 60. And last game on the Saturday afternoon or night game, we had the Eels beating the Titans 26-20. So in this one, the Eels just came out firing, and man, they just look so electric in attack at the moment. You know, they have so much. There's like a 3 or 4 dimension attack with Moses, Guffo, Dylan Brown. We had Papali on an edge. Just wait till they get Sivo back. Like, they're going to have a lot more strike on that edge as well. I feel like their forwards ran through the middle really well. Like, Junior Paulo stood up in this one. Regan Campbell-Gillard, I thought, had a decent game. And then for the Titans, you guys played pretty well coming into the second half to really get back into this game. Greg Marju had a really good showing, and overall, I think he would be better. Like, I think Fafita probably had one of his better games this year as well. So, Use a big better from this performance, definitely better than last week. So top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had Dave Fafita with 79, Clint Gutho with 65, and Mitchell Moses also on 65. So the first game on the Sunday, we had the Sharks just demolishing the Tigers. We had the Sharks winning 30-4. In this one, the Sharks didn't really perform to their best, but you know, their second-class performance was still way in leaps and bounds over the Tigers' performance. The Sharks' attack looks really nice at the moment, and they have like strong running forwards from the middle, but their short side shifts. Fuck, try and say that fucking 50 times. Their short side shifts were really, really nice. So there was a couple of times there where they caught the Tigers short. Went through either Nico's hands or Moylan's hands. They created a 3-on-2 or a 4-on-3 opportunity, and they found themselves in a lot of space on that edge. Really just stripped the Tigers apart overall. Top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had Jesse Ramian with 75, Nico Hines with 67, we had Sione Katoa with 63. And last game of the weekend, we had the Panthers versus the Bulldogs, and we had the Panthers winning 32-12. Overall, if you really want me to go too much in depth, I thought the Panthers were just way too classy in this one. But positives we did see for Bulldogs fans, Fleno should have definitely been there from the start. I think I messaged one of my boys. Oh, no. I definitely messaged one of my boys who's a Bulldogs fan. Shout out to you, Brody. That if you guys honestly had Fleno to start the season and built that combination, there was so much in this game that I saw like little sparks of where that combination could really work really well for Burton, and that you just had one of the best opportunities that you had to get Addo Carr in like nice space on that outside, and that was all due to Flano early on that shift, causing the line to steady up on him. He went deep into the line, shifted it outside to Burton, and it just through the hands, Addo Carr was into space. There was a good 10 to 15 minutes of that game where I saw Flano stand up and take charge, and really you looked like a lot better. You actually had the Panthers on the back foot at that part. Silly errors from Dufty and Burns really took you out of this game at that point as well, so that kind of sucks. I didn't see that for a full 40 minutes or 80 minutes, but Flano needs to stay on that side, man. I really think that. So top 3 fantasy performers in this one, we had Nathan Cleary with 58 points, Paul Vaughan with 54 points, and Josh Jackson with 53 points. So over to how my team performed on the weekend, and as I said to you, there was a lot of players that really didn't perform to their full potential in this one. I made a silly error. I put AFB into an emergency thinking he wasn't playing. I went to a camp on that Friday night. Well, actually on that Thursday, I didn't trade him out to put him back into the squad. I put Panay into the squad, and it obviously didn't go too well for me. But we live and we learn, and it wouldn't have changed too much anyway. Like AFB only scored 46. Wasn't the worst score for him, but I still like to see him over that 50 mark, and I reckon he will get to that. Players like Teddy Xavier Coach didn't really get to their potential. Stephen Crichton with 17 points isn't too good. Tago's probably not worst game of the year, but like worst fantasy score at the moment with 31. Still amazing for him. Nanai with 27. It's not the best. He definitely could go better with this one. I think he will get better from the weekend. The weekend was a very up and down game from both sides, so it's a bit tougher to see him stand out in the pack there. Kurt Mann with 37, I probably would have saw a little bit more out of him. And then obviously my bench performed okay. Like we had players like Tuolangi standing out with 44 points. Will Panasini with 30. It's alright. It's probably base like minimum for him at the moment to break even. Kobe Hetherington with 24 points. I expect better out of him, especially in that starting squad. And Aaron Panett with 24 points. I'm going to keep bashing at home. He will get a better squad soon, but at the moment, he probably wouldn't be my best buy. I think that's more of a loyalty thing for me, and this is where in games like this and fantasy and that sort of stuff, where you pick like players from your favorite team and you're thinking they're going to perform that well, it doesn't usually end up being that way. So as I said, I'm a casual fan. I love to have fun, so it is what it is. Overall, overall score, I got 707 points. Definitely my lowest point of the year at the moment. Definitely not good at all. Especially after last week's of getting 850 and starting to think I was going to get baseline 800 and upwards, but yeah, it just didn't go that way, unfortunately. Overall rank for me is 33,000 at the moment too. I was 29,000 last week. Dipped back down because of the game we've had this week, but we will get better. I'll probably stick solid with most of the players that I've got here. I don't really have anyone I'm looking at trading out other than, like, I think Crichton's going to be a stayer for me, but it's just a weird one for me. Like, I could see at that price range, I could see maybe a couple other buyers that could be better than him at the moment, and I'm filling out, like, a lot of my squad is very Panther based, so I do want to switch it around so I got more of a broad range of players there from different squads. So comment down below what you reckon. I do remember that comment the other day, someone was saying he was definitely a keeper for the year. I do agree with you. Like, I reckon he's going to be like averaging more than 17 points, of course, but I just think that maybe I could go somewhere else. But if you got him in your squad and you don't have that many other Panthers players in that squad and everything like that, I definitely reckon to keep him. But yeah, guys, I enjoyed the weekend overall. It wasn't the best from my fantasy squad, but, for footy, it was an amazing weekend of footy, amazing weekend of fights. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy the video. Like and subscribe down below. Click the subscribe button. We're at like 80 subscribers right now, and I really appreciate every single one of you that have hit that subscribe button. And yeah, more videos to come, guys. Peace out.